Hey, my name is Robiel Tesfaldet. I've been training martial arts since I was 15, so about 8 years now. I started with judo and wrestling, and then um, did that until I started training at Next Edge Academy, and I want to say that was 5 years ago. What I remember from my first MMA fight is it was kind of like my first roller coaster ride, where like as I started walking out and as you start getting like buckled in, it's like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. But when I got in there, the lights were super bright and it was just kind of a blur. Everything happened super fast. I remember not remembering much of it until I started watching it, and I ended up winning by armbar, and I didn't really take any hits. So I think that was the first time I realized like how big of a anxiety-filled situation that is when it's all real and actually happening.
How I feel about this upcoming fight, I'm excited. It's gonna be a sweet show. There's a lot of local guys, a lot of guys I've trained with are on this card with me. The Sioux Falls crowd's always awesome. I love hearing the pop that I get fighting locally, and yeah, I'm just excited.
Robiel is really smooth with what he does. He transitions everything from start to finish. Robiel really brings us to almost a scientist level. He likes to see what you're doing and do it better.
I would say I'm the most confident in myself when I know I won't have any regrets in the way I prepared. I know that I've done everything I can, and if I feel like that, then I can accept whatever happens. So one of my striking coach, Lucas, used to coach at the gym that the guy I'm fighting fights for. And so it's a little awkward, but I know me and Lucas have a personal connection that's been built up throughout the last couple of years, and he didn't really work with this kid much. So all that really is he knows more about him than I would say their coaches know about me. Yeah, so I lost in December, and that was my first my first loss as a pro, and it's kind of just devastating to your ego in a little way, but I really try to use that as a motivation into bettering myself. It was a chance to kind of wipe the slate clean of what I thought of myself as a fighter. And after that fight, I started working with a sports psychologist, and Brad Jerica, and you learn a lot. Like, I never really used to focus on the mental game. I used to just think you get as good as you can, and then whoever is the better in shape guy and the better prepared guy will win. But if you get in your own way mentally, then you don't get to show the stuff you work on all the time, and it's not as fulfilling. So I felt like that last fight, that was the most mentally prepared I'd ever been, and I ended up having a quick finish, and it just was a good feeling. I've already fought at the same place twice before, and both times had a pretty good crowd, so I think I'll feel comfortable. I know the other guy's coming in, and he's from Wisconsin, so he's never fought at the Pentagon, and he's the away guy. Whereas to me, this kind of feels like another Friday night in town. Listening to music before sparring and before practice is something I do because it makes me kind of get in the zone, and on fight night that's what I do, so it's just another way that I can mimic that evening, I guess. Yeah, when I'm warming up, I'm listening to music, and sometimes when I'm getting too hype, I'll listen to a slower song, and sometimes when I feel like I need to get amped up, I'll listen to a more hype song. And
all those top tier promotions, I mean, if you can do a good showing on there, I think it's not very far that they're now asking you to go into a contract to where he can start concentrating on fighting full time rather than having to work 2 or 3 jobs in order to support himself, and then also try to be a professional athlete on top of that.
Again, this is a whole nother class of fighters that's come through here now that that big things get put upon them, and each and every time, all of them shine. They rise to the occasion. They do what they're there to do.
I just think it's probably something that's really hard to have, like, subconsciously, to truly be confident in yourself. I think it's something you really have to work on, and you have to look deep, like, into your insecurities, and like, work on the stuff that is probably really hard for you, the stuff that gives you anxiety and situations that are uncomfortable. And I just think that's tough for anybody to do, and a lot of people might fake that confidence and seem like a really confident person, but stuff like MMA really shows your true belief in yourself and what you really think about yourself. I think if I win, it'll just be, a confidence boost that I fought a guy that was experienced. It'll be a good feeling because I'm in front of my home crowd, and I'll be able to hang out with my parents and my girlfriend and my friends afterwards. If I lose, I think in the long run, it'll still be a win, because I'm in this to be a world champion, and I think to be a world champion, you have to take fights like this, and you have to, test yourself so you can really learn what you need to work on, and it's just kind of a race to see how good you can get. If we both get knocked out unconscious, I might retire, because I feel like that'll be a meme for the rest of my career. So